Good morning, Roadrunners. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to compare and order whole numbers through the millions. Our essential question for this chapter is, how does the position of a digit in a number relate to its value? So the problem of the day, you will need your math notebook for this. And it is, which number is greater, 2,000 more than 10,000 or 200 more than 10,200? Press pause, and when you're ready to move on, press play. If you answered 2,000 more than 10,000, you are correct. Nice job. Quick check. Write each number two different ways. This is a review from yesterday. So you'll notice the first one's written in standard form, the second one in Word, and the last one in expanded form. So for each of these problems, write it in two different ways from what's presented. Press play when you're ready to move on. Press pause when you're ready to move on. Push play. Go ahead and pause while you take a look at these answers. If you're still having difficulties with this, please make sure that you come and talk to me at office hours or message me so that I can give you a video call. The United States produces about 36,500,000 tons of fruit each year. What is this number in standard form? If you selected A, you are correct. So we're still working in our math notebooks. So this is what some of the problems will look like today. The estimated population of Tanzania is 48,261,942. And the estimated population of South Korea is 48,955,203. Which country has the largest population? So if we just go ahead and look at these numbers, we could line them up. But because there's two of them, sometimes and they have the same amount of digits, you can look and go, oh, 4 and 4. Okay, that doesn't help. So go to the next digit, 8 and 8. Keep moving to the right, 2 and 9. Oh, right, 9 is greater than 2. So South Korea has the greatest population. So now we are moving on to our math workbook. We are on page 17. So just like yesterday, the place value chart, you can put these numbers into your place value chart to help you decide which one is greater than. So this would look like this. So go ahead and do that now. Press pause when you're ready to move on. Go ahead and push play. So now, we have our numbers lined up. Begin at the greatest place value. Compare the digits. Well, 6 is obviously greater than 3. And we need to remember that we always read a math problem just like we would a sentence from left to right. So 6 is greater than 3. So since 6 is greater than 3, then 64,186,600 is greater than 33,420,160. So the Pacific Ocean has the greater area. When you're comparing several numbers, the easiest way to do them is to put them in this type of order. If you don't already have a chart, then you might just want to go ahead and line them up, making sure that all of your ones place is in order. Those all have to be lined up. Then you can go ahead and look at the numbers in the greatest place. I'm going to go ahead and click to the next slide. This is at the top of your page, but there's a lot of stuff going on here, so it's kind of confusing. But basically what it is that if you look at this 1, 2, 1, well then obviously we know that this one is going to be the greatest. At that point, if I'm looking at numbers I'm going to go ahead and after I've decided that that is the greatest, I'm going to go ahead and cross it out so that it makes it easier for me to look at the rest of the numbers. So I'm going to compare the next one. What am I looking for? Okay, so now I've got 1, 1. Go to the right, 2. So this is my next one. So India is going to be next. When I've decided that, I'm going to cross it out. Now I'm looking at, there's not even, Norway doesn't even have a million. So then I know this is my next one. And then finally, sorry about that, went backwards. That's what it should look like right there. The order from greatest area to least area is Australia, India, Argentina, and Norway. Since 1,068,296 is greater than 125,181, the area of Argentina is greater than the area of Norway. So this is our guided practice. What we have here is comparing two numbers. So we're either going to use the symbol less than, greater than, or equal to decide which one is true. When you're just comparing two numbers, you might not necessarily need to line them up, but you can just usually look. So this one, we've got a 6 and a 5. So if I've got, since I know 6 is greater than 5, I'm going to go ahead and know that that is 655,543 is greater than 556,543. Go ahead and try this one on your own. Now, if you went ahead and just compared your greatest value, 1 and 1, and you kept moving to the right, 0, 0, 0, 2, then we know automatically that this number is greater than. So we're going to place the less than symbol in there. So we've got 10,027,301 is less than 10,207,301. Now over here, I've already gone ahead and rearranged these. So if you have a number of a list of 3 or more numbers, you're going to want to definitely rearrange them like this so that you can really take a close look at them. Notice that I have all of my ones lined up, my ones place lined up. Now I can easily look and decide which ones are greater than, less than, or equal to. Making sure too that you are really reading the directions carefully. This happens to say greatest to least. Sometimes it'll say least to greatest, so you really need to pay attention to that. I've already gone through and ordered them. So when I looked though, all of them were ones. I moved on. I had 4, 5, 4, 5. Ooh, okay, so I know I just need to look at these ones. And then 4 and 9. So this is my greatest. I'm going to cross that out so I don't confuse myself and write that down. The next 4, 5, 4. Okay, perfect. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to go on 1, 1, 4, 4, 5, 5. Wow, 0, 0, 0, 0. I had to go all the way to my ones place to figure out that this was the next one. And then finally that number. We just went over these together. So here is your independent practice. What I would like you to do is press pause, and when you're ready to move on, push play. You're going to write whether it's less than, greater than, or equal to for each of these. If you're having a hard time and you need more help, go ahead and pause the video and then contact me. Even if I'm not in office hours, send me a message so that I can call you and we can talk about it. Take a look at these answers. How are you doing? If you're feeling strong, continue to move on. If not, please contact me for some help. So order the numbers from greatest to least. Remember what I said. Make sure that you're reading the directions to see, is it least to greatest or greatest to least? Just like I did in that one problem, you're going to want to write, because we've got more than two, you're definitely going to want to go ahead and write them on the side. If you don't have room on your in your workbook, use your notebook for scratch paper too. Don't get sloppy with it. Keep it ordered, but you can use that as well. Push pause, and when you're ready to move on, push play. So I also wanted to make note of the fact that how we are separating each of these numbers is using a semicolon. That's really important so that it doesn't run together as one huge ginormous number. So we're using our commas in between the periods, but we need to make sure we use a semicolon to show the different numbers. After you've checked your work, push pause while you check your work, and then when you're ready to move on, push play. Two more problems, same idea, still order the numbers from greatest to least. Push pause, and when you're ready to move on, push play. Here they are. How are you doing? Check in with yourself. If this is a struggle, please let me know. I can help you. If you're doing great, then you can go ahead and continue on. Check your answers carefully and push play when you're ready. Two more independent practice. Looking at this though, it's order the numbers from least to greatest. Remember I said that sometimes that's going to be something that you think, oh, I did an awesome job on this, but you didn't read the directions carefully. So always reading the directions carefully. So order these from least to greatest, push pause, and when you're ready to move on, push play. Push pause while you're checking your answers. Continuing on with the idea from least to greatest, least to greatest. Push pause while you work. Are you getting the hang of it? If not, make sure you ask me for some help. All right, we are into our last problems, our problem-solving problems. So rank the following states from least to greatest, least to greatest. They've already put it in this little tricky chart for you, so this should make it much easier. When you're ready to move on, push play. And it was Mississippi, Alabama, Colorado, and Ohio. Order the cars from most expensive to least expensive. Push pause. Work on your problem. Write 5 numbers that are greater than 75,330,000, but less than 75,410,000. So remember the brain builders. These ones are always going to be a little bit more of a challenge, which is good. We need a challenge. That's how you build your brain. When you're ready to move on, push play. So these are just some sample answers. That means there's more options, many, many, many more options that it could have been. But here's some of the possible answers. How do you compare whole numbers through the millions? Think about this for a minute. Pause and then move to the next slide when you're ready. So all the ways that we just worked on them. List each number and line up the ones place. Compare each place, starting with the largest place value position. In each place, the greater number has the greater place value. You might not have said it exactly like this, and that's fine, but just as long as we're starting to get the idea. So this is the end of our lesson. If you would like to continue working on some more problems, there are always the homework pages. I will click through those now so that if you would like to work on them and then check your answers, you can do that. If you feel like you are ready to move on to your IXL assignments, then you can go for that. If not, then of course, get a hold of me and we will talk about how to compare numbers. Nice job today.